Iyron, the magical time-traveling carrot.
Chapter 1.
Iyron was born in 1995, and by the time he was 10 years old, he had built his first time machine. This was also about the time that he started listening to rock music. His favorite band was Nirvana, and he wanted to see them perform live, but someone told him that the band's frontman, Kurt Cobain, was dead. He was saddened at first, but then he realized with his time machine, he could still see them play. Iyron went back to see a Nirvana show in 1992. He was so excited to see his favorite band that he jumped on stage with them. Kurt Cobain saw him and tackled him into the drum set while the drummer was playing a drum solo and the bassist jumped out into the crowd. While they were on the floor, Iyron said,
I love your music, Mr. Cobain. Please be careful. You're going to die soon.
I know, believe me, I know. I write about it all the time. But what you don't know is that someday we're all gonna die.
You mean because we are all mortal creatures?
No, because in the year 3000, Nadia the witch will build a doomsday bomb to kill every living creature.
How do you know this?
I'm a rock star. I know things. I transcend time.
Can you stop it?
No, man, I can't stop it. I've got my own mess to make. Besides, I don't have a time machine, and I have a show to play.
Before Iyron could reply, Kurt Cobain jumped up, threw the jetpack-wearing carrot into the crowd, and launched into a song. The audience went wild. After the show, Iyron tried to get backstage to tell Kurt that he had a time machine and they could save the world together. But the bouncer wouldn't let the carrot through. Iyron decided that if Kurt Cobain was right, then he would go to the year 3000 to stop Nadia the witch. The only thing was, he didn't know where in the world to go in the year 3000. Just then, a flash of light appeared and he saw another time machine. It was identical to his own. The door opened and out stepped a carrot that looked remarkably like himself. Behind the carrot were some nervous-looking vegetables that Iyron had never seen before. The time-traveling carrot flew over to him with his jetpack and handed Iyron a photo.
Here you go. When you get to 3000, look for this field and remember, watch out for the wizard. Good luck, future me.
The second time machine disappeared in another ball of light. Iyron looked at the photo. It was a picture of a field with some trees around it. With that tiny bit of information, Iyron climbed aboard his machine, cranked up in utero on the time machine stereo, and set off for the year 3000 to save the world.
Chapter 2.
Donut Narwhal sat outside the convention hall waiting for someone to call him on the walkie-talkie to tell him to go get a coffee or to go buy snacks or to go walk someone's dog. This was the life of a disgraced wizard. He had had his powers taken from him by the Wizards Council after he'd been tricked by his neighbor Nadia into using his powers on her crops. She'd come to his house in the middle of the night asking for help. She said her farm was under attack by giant moles. Donut thought it was a bit suspicious because it was no secret that Nadia the witch did not like Donut Narwhal the wizard.
Why don't you stop them yourself?
I've tried everything, but nothing has worked. I think they need to be turned into rutabagas.
Nadia's powers were far stronger than Donut's. She could shapeshift into animals, she could fly, she could control the weather, she could turn a person into furniture, but the one spell she couldn't do was Donut's rutabaga spell. He was the only wizard who could do it, actually.
Can you please help me?
Donut went to help and charmed her field with his rutabaga spell.
I've got you now!
It turned out there were no moles, only magical vegetables, which in the year 3000 were a rare and protected species. Donut had turned all the magical vegetables into regular rutabagas. Being the only wizard with rutabaga powers, and since everyone knew of the rivalry between the witch and the wizard, the Wizards Council, led by the notorious young wizard Jimmy Chicken, believed Nadia's claims that Donut had arrived uninvited in the middle of the night to destroy her magical vegetables. They stripped him of his powers. Donut became the laughingstock of the other wizards and witches and was left to a life of doing snack runs for the others. His only chance to regain his powers was to make and eat a salad of magical vegetables. This was both dangerous and illegal. Only practicing wizards and witches were allowed to be near the rare magical vegetables. But Donut was determined to return to his wizardry and get revenge on Nadia the witch. In his pantry, Donut had captured and imprisoned magical celery, magical broccolini, a magical potato, magical lettuce, and magical tomatoes. He even managed to capture some magical garlic croutons and magical ranch dressing. The only thing he was missing to complete his magical salad was a magical carrot.
Chapter 3!
Iyron opened the door to the time machine. He wasn't sure if he had landed in the year 3000 until he saw the sign on the big building just next to him. VeggieCon 3000! He powered up his jetpack and flew off, hoping to find any sign of Nadia the witch. Before he entered the building, he saw a sad-looking wizard sitting on the curb outside with a walkie-talkie in one hand and his pointy wizard hat in the other. Iyron waved hello to him, and the wizard perked up and waved back. Donut could not believe his luck. Carrots are the rarest of the rare magical vegetables, and one had just flown by and was for some reason about to wander into the most dangerous place it could ever go. He dropped his walkie-talkie, put on his wizard hat, and ran into the conference hall to follow the carrot. Iyron noticed hundreds of vegetables in cages that people were inspecting and bidding on. A zucchini saw the flying carrot, and her eyes went wide with surprise.
How are you out there at free? Help us, please!
Before Iyron could even ask what the zucchini meant, he was spotted by the wizards and witches at the magical vegetable auction, and chaos ensued. They were charging after him and throwing spells his way. Iyron flew above their heads, and the witches and wizards all packed together and chased the carrot. Lightning bolts shot out from the fingers of one witch and cut off Iyron's long, leafy green hair. Donut Narwhal saw the others all packed together. They were crowding one another so tightly that most could barely raise their hands to use their magic. The disgraced wizard jumped up on a table and then onto the heads of the other witches and wizards as he ran towards the carrot. When he got to the end of the room, he called, "Carrot, follow me!" He then jumped head first out the window, and the carrot followed.
Chapter 4!
Donut led the carrot back to his home. He had everything he needed to get his powers back, and all he had to do was prepare his salad without the carrot catching on. He preferred to eat carrots soft and decided that he was going to have boiled carrots in his salad.
It's a good thing we got you out of there when we did, or you would have been a goner.
What was that place?
That was VeggieCon, the world's largest magical vegetable auction.
What do they do with the vegetables when they're bought?
Whatever they want, really. Some witches make potions from them, and some wizards eat them for their powers, and sometimes they are just kept as exotic pets.
Pets?
Cauliflower is a loyal and fierce vegetable. They can be better than guard dogs, and there's no mess to clean up.
What were you doing there?
Oh, I was just relaxing on the curb. When I saw you go in, I figured you didn't know what you were walking into, so I, of course, went in to help. Oh, don't worry about me. You are safe here. I don't even like to eat vegetables. What were you doing there?
I was looking for a certain witch. And for this place.
Iyron held up the photo, and Donut recognized the place instantly.
Wait, what do you want with my backyard?
This is your backyard?
Donut pointed to the window, and Iyron went to look. The scene was identical to the photograph.
Do you know somebody named Nadia?
Yes, unfortunately I do. Why?
I have reason to believe that she has planted a doomsday
The carrot told the man what Kurt Cobain had shared with him. And though Donut was eager to get to making his salad, he realized that if he could also undermine one of Nadia's evil plans, then his return to wizardry would be an even sweeter victory. He led the carrot out to his backyard and got himself a shovel and started digging. The carrot used his jetpack to hover and blow dirt away. It took a few hours, but they finally unearthed the bomb.
What do we do now?
We have to disarm it.
How do we do that?
We could either carefully remove the top and delicately sort through each and every wire, hoping to find the detonator wire without first accidentally triggering the bomb to go off. We'll then need to cut the detonated wire and then bring the rest of the bomb to an active volcano and throw it in. Or we could just flick the off switch on the outside of the bomb and then toss it to that Pac-Man over there who's passing by.
I vote for the second option.
Yep, me too.
Iyron flicked the switch, and then Donut tossed the bomb to the Pac-Man, who gobbled it up. With the Doomsday Bomb destroyed, the two returned to Donut's house.
Chapter 5.
Donut and Iyron were filthy from all that digging, and Donut saw an opportunity for how he could trick the carrot into becoming his meal.
You know what would be great right now?
What?
A hot bath. We can both get cleaned up, and then maybe you can tell me a bit more about where you're from.
One good thing about having a time machine is that you don't ever have to be in a hurry. Iyron thought about the offer and said,
Sure, a bath and some conversation would be swell.
Great. I'll go draw a bathtub for me, and I'll get you a nice bath going in this pot on the stovetop.
Donut set a pot of water on the stove, turned on the heat, and then went to start his own bath. Iyron realized that he was hungry and flew over to the pantry to see what Donut might have to snack on. He was stunned to see the pantry full of caged vegetables, and one cage that was shared by garlic croutons and ranch dressing. They were all bound and gagged, and the veggies and the toppings looked at him with fearful eyes as they backed up in their cages.
Hey there. Don't be frightened.
The carrot pulled the gag off the potato's mouth.
Help us, please. That man's gonna kill and eat us all.
But he told me he doesn't even like vegetables.
That's a lie. A horrible lie. He kept us here while he waited to find a carrot, which I suppose is you. He's gonna make a salad out of all of us. Help us, please. Oh no, he's coming.
Stay quiet, Potato. I will save you.
Iyron closed the pantry door just as Donut returned.
Our baths should be ready soon.
You know what? I like my baths really hot, pretty much boiling. Would you mind if I heated up that pot even more?
Donut was beside himself with joy. Not only did he find a magical carrot for his salad, he got revenge on Nadia, and now the carrot was asking to boil himself. What unbelievable good fortune!
Of course, by all means, please heat it up as much as you like.
Iyron flew into the air beside the pot and revved his jetpack engines so that a long blue flame shot from them and licked the sides of the big pot.
Hey, Donut, would you mind looking in that pot and let me know when it comes to a boil?
Oh, it'd be my pleasure.
When the bearded man leaned over the side of the pot, Iyron directed his flames at him, and Donut caught fire. He ran around the room screaming, and the carrot followed, keeping the flame on the man until he was fully roasted. Iyron picked up the cooked man and tossed his remains outside for a passing Pac-Man to find and eat. He then returned to the pantry to free the vegetables, who had watched their dramatic rescue through the slats in the pantry door.
Epilogue!
Iyron helped the magical vegetables and croutons and ranch dressing into his time machine. He promised them that he would take them somewhere safe, somewhere where no one would want to eat them.
You guys like rock music?
All the vegetables nodded.
Great! I'm gonna take you to see my favorite band. But first, I need to deliver this photograph to my past self.
He set the time machine to 1992, and off they went.